huge trade. Saturday night, news came down. I was sitting having dinner with a couple of my buddies. We were out after watching the Tennessee-Kansas basketball game in Knoxville. My phone blows up. Matthew Stafford shipped to the Rams, and Jared Goff shipped to the Detroit Lions. Also, a couple of first-round draft picks in the process. I asked you guys who won the trade. Dead heat, over 30,000 of you voted, tied at 50-50 in terms of who won the trade, with over 30,000 of you voting. I think the answer is easy. It is the LA Rams, because the Rams know exactly what they're getting, and they know exactly what they have given up in many respects. They know that Jared Goff was not the answer. The third-round pick that they are giving up, interestingly enough, they'll be getting back as a compensatory pick, so that's a wash. The two first-rounders, they are fairly confident are going to be in the low 20s, and they hope certainly they're even in the 30s, because they'd like to be in the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. And what's interesting is, and I talked some on the radio program this morning about it, I said the Rams are making an aggressive move to go with production as opposed to potential. They gave up 2 first-round picks to the Jacksonville Jaguars for Jalen Ramsey, the best cover corner in the NFL. They gave up 2 first-round picks now for Matthew Stafford, the best available quarterback in the NFL. And as a result, if you look at their ability to run the football, the Rams averaged over 120 yards per game. They had 5 100-yard rusher games. In his entire 12-year career with the Detroit Lions, the Matthew Stafford-era Lions had just 11 100-yard rushers. The ability of Matthew Stafford to have a play-action game and an incredible defense. Matthew Stafford is going to get the Rams into the playoffs. I think he makes them a legitimate chance, gives them a legitimate chance to contend and win the Super Bowl. And also, I think Matthew Stafford is an early potential MVP candidate, because if you look at all the talent at wide receiver, plus a really good offensive line and the ability to run the football, those play-action passes in conjunction with Sean McVay's play calling, I think Matthew Stafford is going to be a top 10 quarterback for certain in the 2021 football season. And I think there's a good chance he's going to be a top 5 quarterback if he stays healthy. Now, for the Lions, whether or not this is a good deal will come down to 2 things. Can Jared Goff still be a successful starting quarterback in the league? I would say that the verdict is out. He's been getting worse year after year. Also, the other question is, who will be drafted with those 2 first-round picks, and where will those picks end up? Is it possible the Rams fall flat on their face and the Lions get a steal, like the Miami Dolphins were able to do, getting the number 3 overall pick for Laramie Tunsil after the Texans fell apart and went 4-12? Or are those going to be low first-round picks, in which case your odds of getting a tremendous difference maker are low? That is why I would rather go with the certainty of Matthew Stafford over the uncertainty of the draft picks. I think the Rams, even though they had to pay a steep price, got a valuable asset here. Now, there were 8 different teams out there that made a run at Matthew Stafford, which gives you a sense for how in demand he was. And I want to tell you who those 8 teams that made the decision to actually make the run at what I thought was an interesting move, what I thought was a really intriguing situation here. There were a lot of different teams. According to Albert Breer from SI, who is going to be on the show tomorrow, here are all the teams that made an offer. The Washington football team, Carolina, San Francisco, Denver, New England, Chicago, the Jets. All right, this will be pretty interesting to see how exactly this all shakes out. But having 8 different NFL teams having conversations about potentially trading for Matthew Stafford shows how much of an interest there is overall in him.